Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Sarita Lyons. I'm actually sitting in the parking lot of my kids' school. I have to run in there in just a moment for their Christmas concert in Christmas Chapel. And I wanted to do this video really quickly while I was thinking and meditating on a particular topic. Honestly, I had an entirely different video and topic that I wanted to put out today. But God has just been really heavy on my heart about something specific, and that is women in these unhealthy relationships. So it's not a Christmas topic. It's about women in unhealthy relationships. So I've had some recent conversations with friends and even my colleagues in talking about some of their cases and women about them being in relationships with men where they are going nowhere. And the fact that they cannot draw a hard line and a boundary to get out of these unhealthy relationships. So now I'm not just talking about like domestic violence and verbal abuse and things like that. I think when we think of unhealthy relationships and why women need to get out of them, we tend to think kind of all the way down on that end of the spectrum. But I'm talking about there are so many women in dead-end relationships. And maybe you're one of them. So I want to talk to you, or you know a woman who is in one of them, and you need to share this video with them. So it just totally breaks my heart when I think about women who are wasting their lives. If you are one of them, wasting your life, staying in relationships with men where you know you are not loved, you are not honored, you are not respected. He brings nothing to the table but drama and trauma. And because really we're the glitches in our own hearts as women that keeps us in these dead-end, ridiculously unhappy, unfulfilling relationships, is because we don't believe in what God said about who we are, our self-worth, how we have appraised our value is so low that we don't often think we deserve more than what we have. I was talking to a young woman the other day who has been in this, never-ending relationship with this guy who she is literally financially taking care of. I mean, a young guy, too, so it's not like he's got some kind of disability. But I'm saying they're not married. She's financially footing the bill for everything. He is verbally abusive when he's trying to manipulate her, when she even hints at leaving, angry with her all the time, doesn't talk kindly to her, and yet she's caring for him like a mother with benefits. If you're in a relationship where you're like some little boy's mom and you're having sex with him, that's nuts. That's crazy. You deserve so much more than that. What I've discovered as I've talked to lots of women over the years, when you start peeling back all the different layers of what's going on in the relationship and why they stay, is at the core of it, maybe because of some trauma in their lives, because they didn't have a father to tell them and affirm the truth of who they are as a beautiful young lady, as someone who is smart and deserves respect and love and care. Maybe because they never had that modeled where they saw a man treat another woman well. There is this glitch often in women where you feel like, well, as long as he wants me, I'd rather be wanted than alone. And women, tons of women, are in relationships where they're just getting used for money or sex, and they're holding on to these dead-beat, dead-end men who aren't going to marry them, who are likely or knowingly cheating on them or have cheated on them multiple times. Now, we're not talking about overcoming infidelity in a marriage. I'm talking about women who aren't even married and who are staying in relationships, like giving, it's not even grace. We can't even say, oh, I'm giving him a second chance. No, this isn't even grace. Women aren't even making wise decisions to say, I'm done with you, right? Because women haven't decided who they are. Women have not believed in what God has said about them. And so I'm totally frustrated because I don't know what it's going to take sometimes to get through to women. I know any women that are out there that have done discipleship and that have counseled women in these situations. If you've been one of those friends who get those midnight hour calls and you try to pray and you try to give them advice, or you're just a listening ear. And, you know, oftentimes people like that have compassion fatigue, because what you really want to say is you need to leave that joker. And, I mean, I'm saying that nicely, right? That's the whole Christian righteous version of what most of us are often thinking. And you try not to, or sometimes you hint at it, and you're like, I don't want to run anybody's relationship. I don't want to be all involved. But you're often involved because, you know, you're silently sitting by watching your friend be in this horrible relationship. Listen, if you're the friend, you need to love your friend enough to say, girl, tell him, boy, bye. Whatever folk is saying nowadays, bye, be gone. You know, women often have kind of entrapped themselves or trapped themselves in these really messy relationships, because now you're living together, you have bills together, you have a child together, or you have a child on the way. And, you know, I had a situation where one lady was having trouble getting rid of the guy because he was basically a squatter. He had lived there so long, getting mail to the house, that it was hard for her to get rid of him if she even wanted to. I mean, women, stop doing that. Stop living with dudes. Stop shacking up. I mean, like, seriously, how do you ever expect someone to marry you, someone to respect you, if you don't respect yourself? It comes from within. Love and honor and respect is an inside job. And listen, you know, I have really smart, I'm not talking about, like, you know, whatever your opinion or fantasy is about the type of woman that would stay in this ridiculous type of relationship. No, I'm talking about well-educated women. I'm talking about women with means. I'm talking about women who go to church and serve in the church and have been in the church well, or hanging out, sleeping with, building lives that are built on sand with men who are not going to marry them, and relationships that aren't going anywhere. Where women who are sleeping with married men, and then you're lying and telling yourself, oh, well, that don't have nothing to do with me. I don't have the covenant with I'm not married. That's between him and her. No, that's you. Sis, how you going to, one, treat yourself like that to be second, right? Because guess what? You're in a situation, and many women who are in these never going to get married situations are settling, and you are allowing a man to have a piece of you because he doesn't want all of you. So that's why back in the day, you know, they used to say, you're going to give him a piece. When they were talking about sex, you know, I'm about to get a piece of that. And many of you used to say, that's a dime piece. You know, all these men who want a piece of you, and because you don't have enough courage to say, nah, if you don't want all of me, you can't have a piece of me. And so women are dating and sleeping with married men, and you think that's cute. You think because he's dipping out and sneaking out on his wife and coming to you, that makes you special? It doesn't make you special. It makes you foolish. Come on, you deserve more than that. And listen, I don't care what he's telling you about his wife. You don't know this woman. You don't know this relationship. That's between them. And how dare you interfere in that way? All the mistress has to do is wash her behind, put on some perfume, you know, cook him a little meal, and open up the door for him and have sex. That's all you have to do. You don't have to wash his clothes. You don't have to take care of his children. You don't have to do life with him, do bills with him. You don't have. This is a fantasy you're in, sis. So you need to, like, love yourself enough to say bye to the married dude. Quietly, I would tell. Anyway, so, oh my gosh, ladies, this is all bubbling up. I'm just trusting God to say this. This is not scripted. This is not an organized message. I'm just saying, sis, you deserve more than that. listen, I hear stuff now talking about this is cuffing season and all of that. I mean, even just that language. I know that's the colloquial street lingo, but I'm a wordsmith. I love words, and I'm like, cuffing season. Like, don't we put cuffs on people like when they're getting arrested, when they're going to jail, when they're going to prison, and you want to be cuffed? No, God offers the highest form of a relationship in marriage, and it's called a covenant, not a cuffing. So to even play around with language like that is dangerous. It shows a mindset. It shows a belief system that you have. So I'm just, with all sincerity, I'll organize my thoughts and better and do something later on relationships. But let me tell you this. Merry Christmas. How about the best gift you can give to yourself is to get out of these dead-end, foolish relationships, dating Nabal. And for us married women, we got to get some help. Stop suffering in silence. Stop, posting stuff on Facebook and pretending to the world that you and your man got this bomb relationship, and all of your close friends who cry with you, who pray with you, know you're suffering. No, that dude is tripping. And you're not even telling on him, right? You're not even telling on him to people he could be accountable to. I mean, if you're in the church, tell the pastor, bring in some support systems. That's what the community is for. So, but no, you're complicit. You're helping build this false image, like you've got this ideal marriage and relationship, and you 2 seconds from leaving him, or you are in such pain and turmoil over being in an unhealthy marriage. Because here's the thing, if you don't use God's methods in order to resolve marital discord, or if you don't use God's methods to apply to even dating issues, you'll end up resorting to the enemy's plan to self-soothe. And so for married women who are in unhealthy marriages, if you just let that go, now let me tell you, the